here we are again, guys. It is Tuesday, which means we're going live together here in For the Love of Dragons. Love to do this with you guys every Tuesday. This is going to bother me. He's just a little off kilter. My name is Araya Anra. I'm your dragon guide. I am the dragon lady, and a lot of you know me, but some of you are new. We've got a lot of new people in the group, and a lot of new dragon energy going out there, making itself known in the world. They are getting super active, getting super mainstream, and that to me is super exciting. So let's talk about the energies going on right now. I want to check in with you guys and see what you've been feeling, what you've been noticing, and talk about the elemental shifts that our bodies are starting to go through as we come into our crystalline body activation. You know, moving from carbon to silica as a basis in our cells biologically is the final piece in our shifting. After you awaken and your energy bodies you start to shift, and you start to release through the emotional and the mental bodies when you connect with your shadow work and all your traumas. So now coming into the physical piece, it's going to be the easiest technically of all the work you've done, even though it's going to be the most uncomfortable because the body is so connected to what we're walking around and feeling every day. So it's the most uncomfortable because you might feel nauseous, you might feel dizzy, you might feel ungrounded. I've been feeling all of those things, a lot of vision shifting in the last few days, and got some clarity this morning on more of that, but have also some pieces coming in since we did our Good Friday meditation last week before Easter. And it was it might have been a full week ago now, a week and a half ago. If you haven't caught that yet, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel. So search Invoke Healing International in YouTube, or catch the link in any one of my emails that you may have, or in the Facebook postings. There's usually a link that takes you there. There's a whole dragon playlist, and it has over 100 videos now of the last 4 years of weekly stuff. But it's one of the most recent. So that Good Friday meditation, it was powerhouse. And what started happening at that point, that week, I became aware that we are having a shift elementally in our bodies as we move from carbon to silica. And I didn't really realize the connection until I worked with my current group of ongoing, my Quantum Flight group. They finished their program. I'm going to be running another one of those probably this fall. So if you're interested in an 8-week massive leap of expansion and light and energy and connection to the dragons, please reach out, email me. I'll get you on the list to notify when I calendar it. But they've just finished, and we've decided to do an ongoing group where every month we now gather to continue the education, continue the work that's happening. And what came in was this awareness of the water and the fire elements. So water being what we've been working with in April, that by May would be moving into the fire element, but it's not just water and fire. So I've got our fire dragon here and our crystal dragon, because it's about the crystalline DNA. And when I talk about the ascension process, when I talk about our journey with our bodies, the light body coming in, the template with, for you guys as dragon, the light body is dragon, and that's your core soul template. Doesn't mean everybody listening is that, but if you're listening and part of this group and you're not a dragon, then you're very connected to the dragons, and that's why you've been drawn into it. But every human has a connection to the dragons. And so when I bring in these discussions, you might sometimes ask, well, how are the dragons connected to that? Why is she talking about that? What does that have to do with this? And it's because they are the core format energetically that are holding our process, and they are the ones that are going to bring the work exponentially to you on your journey, so that you are moving forward as rapidly as possible. And they do hold keys and codes for every person in this physical form on this planet, because they've been the ones holding the form, holding the entire grid. It was the dragons that came in and held it while it was being created, and since then. So as it goes through its ascension process, they are handing off to the Lyrans. Well, what does that mean? It means they're all freed up to come and help, which is why they are going big right now. They're really coming mainstream, and it's going to be fast and furious here moving forward. So when I talk about this shift, we've got elemental pieces that we work with. Water, fire, earth, and air as the core base. That for us in our body means carbon element. It means oxygen in our blood. There's predominant water in our blood, just like earth, about 80%. So we are elementally based in this body. We're elementally based in our connection to the earth grids and to Gaia. So we have had the earth, air, fire, and water dragons very present in our process, and that's a big part of the work in the book, even though it goes through like 13 different dragons and several lineages, that those elementals are the foundation stone. They're the basis of the work that we need to do, because by clearing that piece out, that they each hold for different sections of your body and different sections of your emotional bodies and mental bodies, that preps you to move into the range where you're ready for that crystal and dragon piece. So what I discovered this last week is, as we move, and I will share a term with you. I'm not going to explain it in full today, because that's like part of what I do in my programs, but there's a term called etheric bonding, which came in over a year ago, of how we are going to shift from our biological normal bonded template of elemental bonded to an etherically bonded, which is a higher energetic state of it. So just hold on to that as a concept. So what came in with the water dragons last week in my quantum flight group was this shift in the template of water in our fields, knowing that as we activate the plasma, which was the Good Friday meditation, as we activate our crystalline DNA structure and move into receiving more and more of our light body, and that starts to come in, that all the water in our bodies, and then all the carbon, which is part of the fire element, hello, good to see you, that is going to shift into this higher etherically bonded state. So when we get that higher up octave of water, and then the higher up octave of the fire, they're going to have a different feel to them. And so the water starts taking on this almost, how interesting, I have my aquamarine here, I didn't realize I had it here. This is my aquamarine stone that is my stone of connection for the water dragon lineage. I am water dragon. I keep this around me a lot of the time. Usually it's in my bedroom. But this stone is the color of the water element that we move and shift into. So it's moving from base level water into more of an aquamarine level, which in all of the dragons, when you recognize in the deck or in the book, the gemstone dragons, so the sapphire, the emerald, the ruby, the peridot, the trying to think which ones are around me that are clearly that and not the deep earth. The middle earth dragons, they move into gemstone qualities, and then the deep earth move into those but more opaque, so carnelian and lapis. That this aquamarine is moving into that gemstone state, and it's our shift towards that within ourselves. It's a higher vibration than the base level water. So this is what's starting to happen in our bodies as we move into etherically bonded. And you know, as I said, I'm not going to explain that term, but just having that in your frame of reference might give you some insight, or some just like, oh, okay, this is what that process is. And as we do that, the water and the fire elements usually work together in balance, and then the earth and the air elements work in balance. So the water and the fire being the core components of our physical makeup, we are now going through a process where, as we move into May, you're going to feel the energies really churning up, almost like you have a sun or a core of fire really trying to expand through you, because through your solar plexus and your what I call the high solar plexus, or the sun chakra, which is part of your dragon's makeup, because the dragons do have 9 chakras. They are a separate chakra system from ours, and we are merging into them. So this element brings the fire element up into a higher range, and so I actually felt the sun dragon wanting to be present with you guys as well. So we've got sun dragon, which is higher octave of fire, but they're both very powerful, and holding them together like in your space. If you guys haven't got a canvas yet, they are on sale through the end of the week. All of the canvas prints are 50% off. That's like buy one get one free for those that I have in stock. And I know I have fire in stock in both the 11 by 14 and 16 by 20. I'll have to look and see if I have sun dragon. I know I have some crystal, but having this on in your space to move through stuff, it elicits so much energy. And I tell you what, if you guys haven't seen my wall here, I've got over 20 of the prints on these walls. Here, I'll give you these guys, as I said, and I'm going to share that again because I was on a weak signal, so I don't know if you got to see it. Here's some of the other canvases, and here, if I can shift this way, We got this whole wall. Pretty potent stuff, and I've even got more on the other wall. So why do I encourage that? I don't have everything in the layer to sell stuff. I really didn't need to get into retail. But what I do is everything that goes out gets a transmission in it for you that is meant to expand your specific expansion journey. And the hard impetus of why these things came in was to be able to get more tools out in your field, in your environment, whether it's a deck, set of greeting cards, Christmas ornaments, the plushies, the canvas prints, the pendants, Labradorite pendants, like I have. There's multiple, there's like 10 or I have 12 different stones currently. Like I've had more, but they keep finding their homes. But those are about getting the energetic frequencies around you that are going to help you expand your light body, help you expand your vibrational field, and bring those dragon energies in that are specific to you. And that's the whole reason that I started creating that whole retail end in the layer, is to bring those tools. So take advantage of them. As I said, like there's quite a bit of stuff. The canvas prints, the cell phone holders, the plushies, they're all half off this month. The pendants are 25% off. That's a steal on these, and that's a great time to take advantage because sometimes they're the pricier items, but to gift yourself something is pretty exciting. Those in the greeting cards are all 25% off. So Dragon25 or Dragon50 is the code. I will put it in the description again for you later. But on this, the fire dragon having that energy, the sun dragon having that energy, this is about when you move into the energies next month and what you've been feeling in your body. You might have been feeling like there's a lot of shift or flow, like this back and forth space, this sort of wobble. And I did an interview last week where it became very apparent. It was the first time I was consciously bilocationally located in 2 time space continuums where I could feel the water energy that we were in, and then moving into May, the fire energy. That's how I knew, like, whoa, we're going in fire in May. And it was this golden fire. It's this golden fire underneath the plasma that is like burning it up like a sun coming in. And so having these two trying to come into balance, this is where you might feel even, and I'm feeling it again as I talk about it because I can hold these 2 spaces, and hopefully you're picking that up as you receive the transference of energy. It used to be called a transmission, the transference of energy that I'm holding for you as you listen to this, either now, hello those that are here with me on the live, and on the replay, that it's holding this state, and you might feel almost like a wobble, like an imbalance or an ungrounded, like, whoa, I feel really watery, and then I feel really hot, and then what's going on? This state of wobble is holding that space for both time continuums to be present with about 10 days ago and about 10 days out in front of us of these 20 days, let's call it 22 days, 11 and 11 either side, of feeling this wobble going on inside of you that is activating your cells, your biological carbon-based makeup, into an etherically bonded, moving up to the crystalline. But to do that, you've got this core fire and moving, like pushing the carbon element into something. So what makes diamonds? They're made from carbon, right? Carbon has been under pressure for eons, right? Makes diamond. Diamond is the highest form of the crystalline. Herkimer diamond is a pure crystal that has no occlusions. So when you put carbon under pressure, it's going to go into crystal. So there's going to feel like there's fire and pressure building up that the sun dragons and the fire dragons are helping build for you to shift that and move it up. And along with that, you've got this water moving from base H2O level liquid water to an aquamarine that's almost a gemstone quality that's vibrationally moving everything up. So holding both of those, your field's going to feel like a bit of a wobble. It's because there's 2 time space continuums moving into bilocation for you and creating a lot of shifts in your body. So feeling like I had a headache since last night. I've had odd things with my vision in the last week. And it's funny that I talked about this morning with someone, and it was made in a post recently, and I thought, exactly, we keep calling them ascension symptoms. And this, whatever we're feeling in our body, there's a big long list of like what you read as ascension symptoms, right? But technically, there's no symptoms as you're ascending. they're technically a symptom of what you're releasing, of what you're no longer allowing to be in your field. Because the ascension part is easy, like you're just moving into that light. It's grace, it's powerhouse, it's all that. But all the things that are going on in our body is our body trying to eliminate and move the toxins through, which is why you're exhausted. What is a release? What is the exhaust coming out of your car? It's a release of toxins, right? Makes us exhausted. So we've got a lot of fatigue. We've got to like regenerate, rejuvenate, and feel that energy come. So this is what we're in right now. There's the movement of your cells moving up a notch to move towards full light body, towards full crystalline activation. And we've got the water and the fire in their higher or next level octaves. I'm not going to say they're higher firmer, because moving up into full sapphire or full crystalline is, for example, the water lineage. But we're getting the taste of that. So what's above the fire dragon in its lineage? Gold. We've got the gold dragon up above that. So you're getting this golden plasmic light, but it feels like sun because the sun is energetically, vibrationally somewhere between those two, and it's holding that light. So you're going to be feeling this step up. It's a big step up happening, and it's finally happening in our biological bodies. So paying attention to that. So if you have questions about it or things that are going on for you, post them down in the comments so that others can see, oh yeah, she's got that going on, me too. That's what she's talking about. Or, wow, I saw these dragons come in and they're helping me move through that. They're not necessarily fire and water, but I can feel how they're trying to hold space and balance for me. You might have earth dragons come in holding space for you. So just be aware that this is what we're in right now. Through April and through at least the first half of May. May, I feel like it's going to be all about this fire energy. And, you know, for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a beautiful tie-in to the spring coming forth. We're starting to get beautiful weather, but it's happening for all of us globally. Yeehaw, I'm ready to bring on the wobbles. Exactly. As one of my people here live is saying, it is. It's exciting. It's frustrating because we feel it in our bodies and it's hard and it's uncomfortable and it's painful. Or we just don't feel tip-top, but we will, and we're getting there. And the more that you realize that you're in this, and that as that field of resonance builds up, and you start to be in that, you recognize you're less and less affected by time. You're less pulled into the time constraint, which is moving you out of horizontal expansion into that vertical expansion that is our ascension process. And when you get in that, time no longer exists. And that's exactly what happens when you move into the quantum field of 5D and above. So if you're going higher vibrationally than 5D and you're not stopping there, more power to you, keep going. But this is what's going to start happening, where you start feeling this movement of energy and you're no longer locked into time frame. And the more resonance you build in that, the more easily you magnetize towards you, and you're going to start recognizing nearly instant manifestation of things that are part of your heart desires, true desires, of projects that you're in or things that you're wanting to create or accomplish. Everything you need to do that's going to start magnetizing towards you as you move into this higher resonant field, because that's just the nature of the ball of energy that your life body is. That is how it operates universally. We've been blocked from that automatic resonance attraction to our magnetic field of our heart desires by being in the 3D veil, where there's so many layers between us and that which we know matches us, because we didn't even know us. We haven't been in contact fully with who we fully be and what we actually want on heart levels. And as we bring that in, that's another part of this process that we'll probably talk about some more down the road. So wishing you guys a beautiful week of all of this expansion. I'm super excited. I'm also excited because I'm going into a new venture with some winged creatures. Don't have dragons here, but I have had a big thing on my plate and my heart for a while to get involved with increasing the bee populations in the world. And I'm starting with, first step, my own backyard. So I am going to be very soon, in the next week or two, a beekeeper officially, and going to have a beehive of Lane of Dragons honey that is going to have crystalline core all around it. I got inspired for the water tank that I'll have for them to put a bed of crystals in the base of the water. So seeding ideas for anybody else that's doing this kind of thing. Use crystal as the base, get the crystal in the water, get the crystal in the ground underneath them. All my flower beds, all of my grapevines, everything I've got crystals in all of them, all around my yard, all around my property. I'm blessed to be near a quartz mine. So we have a quartz mine not far from us that is a great source for all that, to have this incredible field of quartz all around me. So I'm blessed with that. Yes, so excited. So I'm entering a new venture. It's something that's been on my plate for a while, and all of a sudden it literally popped into my field like, do this, do it now, order this stuff. I didn't have to do the research. Like, I've been thinking about it all winter, but didn't realize, wow, you got to get it going. They got to be like starting in the spring, you know, disturb them after that. And I keep telling the universe, I'm so full on my plate. I've got so much. This is going to be a big amount of research, which is why I kept putting it off, right? All of a sudden I discover in a conversation with my brother, didn't know, he just started a beehive on his property. And so he's done all the research. He said, here's the list of stuff to get that ordered, and then keep going with the other stuff. Need to know what you need to know now, and let it roll forward. As you're learning, things will grow. And I thought, this is the way of the future. This is exactly how it's working. And so all of a sudden I had the information. I've got all the stuff coming. It got someone with a nucleus colony, like boom, boom, boom. This is how the universe operates when your heart desires magnetize to you. So that's my new venture. I hope you guys have some new ventures coming in, some new ideas, new creative plans. Whatever it is you're doing, it's time. It's on fire to do it, and feel it coming in alignment right now. Things are starting to align for all of us. All right, many blessings to you. I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. Much love to my dragons. Bye for now.